You know what really puts a smile on my face is watching children fulfilling their potential, and I think for a parent that's it's got to be the most rewarding experience. What do you think?
It is indeed, it is indeed. And you know what, we just saw some videos and some pictures of some kids doing just that, standing on the stage, sharing a story, telling a story with a crowd, and you know what, that's really fantastic.
Exactly.
Public speaking is it's actually a scary thing even just for adults.
Absolutely
but being,
right.
You know, for kids, being able to do this is really fantastic.
So, of course, beginning your kid, starting your children to, of course, be more confident, to have more self-esteem, is actually great building blocks as they grow older. These are skills they're going to be using for the rest of their lives. And, of course, for our kids and family segment over here, we have two people who feel very strongly about setting a firm foundation for our children. We talked to the founders of Scholar Base. Let's speak to Mr. William Chin and Tan Poli. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay, let's first start off with, you know, telling us a little bit about Scholar Base.
We understand you've been around for 6 years?
Yes. Now, what is it? It's a school, a tuition center?
A way of thinking?
Yes. What is it?
Okay, we are a child enrichment center. To start with, or even before I start, I'd like to qualify ourselves. We are not any academic heavyweights. We are just normal, mom and pop, like many of the viewers out there. But what we share is a common concern and conviction that there are weaknesses in our schooling places, and how we go about bringing remedy and address the shortcomings.
So instead of sitting down and complaining, you went and actually did something about it.
Yes,
what are some of the shortcomings that you are talking about?
With our schooling classes and overemphasis on academic, the rote learning, the drilling, in our school, 8 hours in the school, and after that they rush off for tuition classes at night, the more tuition classes for other subjects.
Get homework too.
It is, we strongly feel it is a very mind-numbing exercise for the child. Not just for one day, it's month after month, year after year.
11 years. Yes. That's just primary and secondary, 11 years of it.
So you're going to bring me into a seizure if I start remembering all this.
Yes, mental paralysis, please don't remind us.
So what does Scholar Base bring for children?
Well, having these problems in mind, we designed these programs basically to meet a few objectives. Firstly, we want to let the children experience the fun of learning.
The fun of
yes, it's not that day in, day out, it's so boring, repetitive exercises. They learn to enjoy the learning process. Okay, and secondly, we want to nurture their reading interest. We want to inculcate their reading habit among the children. In nowadays, with the technology, with computer games, internet games, the children have very little time left to start reading and picking up a book and immerse themselves in the stories that's in the books. Thirdly, we find that this is also one of the problems in our schooling system, that is most of the children are not able to express themselves clearly and precisely, and also confidently.
So we talk about communication, we talk about self-confidence as well.
Yes, reading, and apart from presentation on the stage, we also guide the children into writing, or rather express their thoughts and ideas in a written form. So with this, we hope to develop children who are able to read and read with understanding, write and write clearly and in organized form, and also learn to articulate and express on the stage confidently. Yeah, so children who reach this milestone, we call them the scholars.
Okay. Now, how old are your scholars? These are just kids who are in primary, then go on to secondary, or do you start before that?
Please.
They start from the age of about 4. We guide them into storybook reading. We do not teach them how to read, which mom and pop can do that. We want to them to identify with stories that will be lasting throughout their childhood.
I noticed from your collection, you are concentrating on classics. Yeah,
Yes.
I haven't read these since I was a kid, and I don't know. I mean, let's take a look at how many the viewers remember this Gulliver's Travels, you know, Treasure Island, Oliver Twist, and all these stories are stories that I grew up with, and you hardly see them around anymore. Isn't that right, Aisha?
No, you don't. It's quite sad. And you know, there was a time that it was part of the syllabus to actually read a book a month or a book a week. Now that's no longer involved because it's all about, you know, the science, the math and numbers and all that, which is all good. But, you know, it doesn't help the child develop holistically.
Yes.
And the only immersion they have is immersing themselves in a video game on television, you know. So, so far from your experience, I'm sure you've had shy children come in and so on and so forth. How do you see them develop, and some of your experiences maybe?
Okay, we accept children from 4 years old. So from 4 years old to 6 years old, we teach them how to read, and we get them to love reading and immerse themselves in the story. Now, for 5-year-old kids, we will give them a book called Aladdin. And there are many lessons that you learn in the Aladdin story. So what would they do is they will read with us, and as well as they expand their general knowledge. So say, for example, Aladdin is sad. We will introduce a lot of adjectives. So that they learn how to express, themselves. And say, for example, he talked about fire. We will explain about fire, what should you do during the fire situation. So they learn to expand their general knowledge as well as to learn to read. At the same time, they recite poem, they sing. So all this, they can do it on the stage. Yes. So they do it simultaneously. And if they are able to read storybooks like Aladdin, we will move on to the Pinocchio story. And Pinocchio's story is a little bit more difficult, but we are actually training them to read storybooks. We will teach them to read line by line, but at the same time, they will learn to narrate the story for us. And there are many lessons that a child can learn from Pinocchio experience. And this is not as simple as a Disney story. Pinocchio has gone through many experiences. They are not in a Disneyland Disney stories, but there are many lessons and experience that a child can learn from Pinocchio's adventures.
From storybooks. So you've actually taken these storybooks and you've taken up the lessons to be learned, and of course implementing them for children. And you saw the visuals just now. You actually put these children through a concert. So remember having a concert? When you were
so a little presentation on stage. So this is like probably at the end of the little semester, and they actually make a presentation?
Yes, they do. Depending on the books they are reading, for the primary school's kids, they will be reading like Treasure Island, Oliver Twist, Gulliver Travels, and certain books have a role play. We call it role play, associated with the story. So they get to have fun and present it on the stage. They get to wear costumes. Then they find that it's enjoyable to learn English, to develop a language, and they find that a center is not like a tuition center where they have to do repetitive exercise. This is something that we want the children to
So it's open day, meaning anyone and everyone, or parents and relatives can come and take a look at their presentation, yeah?
Yes,
right.
they do.
And on top of that, I noticed there's also lots of lawatan sambil belajar. You go to the library and so on.
The
and so
science center.
Yes.
So that's all part of it. So they also have little school excursions too.
Yes, it is a very wholesome exercise to take children out from the book, from the text, paragraph, and expose them to things around them, and a very strong awareness what is beyond their boundary of school textbooks.
So things they can touch, see, and feel as well.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes.
the different facet that you bring with a scholar base, yeah.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
I sound interested, and if my daughter's a little bit older and she's a little bit shy, so what do I do? Do you have more than one center? How many centers do you have?
Currently, we have 3 locations. We have 3 centers. We call them chapters. Our first chapter is in Ulu Klang. Recently we opened a chapter in Sri Bintang. That's in Kepong. And we just opened a new chapter in Auckland.
Now, do you have to wait for a certain term or to end before you enroll your kids, or is any time can you just join a class?
because our program is based on storybook reading, a child can join at any time. We do not subscribe to a fixed syllabus or module. You know? It is storybook they can pick up in the middle of the book and continue with the story and enjoy with the kids. That is the beauty of such a program.
So it's not a class, actually, it's a place to have fun.
Yes.
How about
yes,
that?
That's, right.
That's what we're looking forward to
Yes.
as well. So, and how much can a parent expect to pay for their children for a course, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the children, when they come in and enroll in Scholar Base, they pay by term basis. So it costs about $1,380 for 4 months. On top of it, they pay the registration fee of $150, and they pay the text material for a year, which costs about $120. Now, for the secondary school kids, because we provide text like this, the text material per year is slightly more costlier.
I see,
Yes, it's $180 per year.
But still, even for secondary students, these are books that are classics by themselves, and you learn so much. And I'm so disappointed, actually, our secondary school kids are not exposed to this. This is one of my favorites, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, I love it. Harper Lee did a fantastic job, didn't he?
Exactly, and the thing is, you've got the best father in the world in this book, okay?
I
Atticus
know,
Finch.
isn't he?
Absolutely right.
And a little scout, right?
Yeah, exactly. So these are the kind of books our secondary children should be picking up. And thank you so much, Scholar Base, for bringing this
Thank
to
you very
Malaysians.
much.
Thank you
Okay,
for giving this opportunity.
it's our pleasure.
worries, no
Now, for parents out there who want to find out more, they can always visit Scholarbase's website. It's www.scholarbase.com. It's on the screens right now, so make sure you write it down.
Absolutely right. Now, I mean, the best time to do this is now, actually. I mean, Malaysians just love to procrastinate and procrastinate.
No, don't do that.
Exactly. Just at least take a look and decide for yourself. That's for sure. Once again, thank you so much to Mr. William Chin and Tan Poli.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Do stay on. Of course, we're going to take a quick break right here on The Breakfast Show. But coming up is our entertainment side.
Yes, we've got 4 different stories in one production. Your theatre experience will never be the same again.
One woman, 2 men will join us to explain Main Dalam Store. Coming soon.